Oh yeah, it's doing that again. Okay, so now we are going into... I'm not gonna pester you with, what the game is and the details, but I don't know how to introduce this. I'm just playing Lego Lord of the Rings. And it is... I say this in a lot of Let's Plays, but this is a truly magical moment, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game. Also, this was the game that I wanted to play the most this December, since, I don't have very many, Christmas games or anything, or really any at all. Actually, the only real Christmas game I have is Batman Arkham Origins, which I'm probably going to save for next year.
The world is changed.
But yeah, we have this 7-minute opening, and it's very cool. I like this whole opening of just...
I feel it in
I feel like every movie, if they have to give exposition, then they should either do it how the Lord of the Rings trilogy does it, or how, Star Wars does it with the opening crawl. At least beginning exposition. Even then, exposition can be a problem with games, but yeah. Okay. I thought I had played this game before in this profile, but I guess not. No, I think this was one of those weird games that for some reason I only played it on...
It began with the forging of the great rings.
I'll stay quiet for this.
3 were given to the elves.
So I played it on my Xbox Live profile. Okay, I'll say that and then I'll be quiet. Because this opening is amazing, but I'll probably get a copyright strike for this music.
And craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race. But they were all of them deceived, for another ring was made. In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring to control all others. One ring to rule them all. But there were some who resisted. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth.
Oh, for a second I thought that was like a gameplay section. I guess that was translating into gameplay, but man, am I going to fight off this army? They just keep battering, but yeah. Actually, I want to address some stuff. So I might as well lay out what topics I want to talk about in this video specifically. I usually don't do this, and I didn't plan ahead what my topics were, but I kind of took some of them as like a given that I was absolutely going to talk about them. One is I'm going to address certain criticism that this game, specifically out of all the LEGO games, have gotten, which I do think the people who criticize it are kind of right on that front. But yeah, and then I'm also going to talk about like my experiences with Lord of the Rings trilogy, both the movies and even a bit on this game, and like just the concept of Middle Earth and wizarding and whatever, and like just this world in general. And then I'll probably update you and talk about like what I'm going to do this December. Now this Let's Play. This one is going to be a long boy, just like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I am planning on this being my longest video, probably, which is a big statement. But I'm hoping that, you know what, I'm excited about this. But I guess first let's talk about the whole like leveling the complaint thing about this game. So people complain that this game is too easy, even for LEGO game standards, which LEGO games are criticized for being easy, and that this one, even though it does often rank like often pretty low, but still on lists of the top 10 LEGO games just for like, you know, the big expansive world of, you know, I'm pressing Y. Why is it not? Why is it not doing this? Okay, why? Why? Oh wait, you're supposed to hold it down. Hold down on it. Yeah, I think this was the first LEGO game that had a character wheel, which is an interesting concept, I think. Oh, this guy has a sword, a blade that can truly cut through, I don't know, whatever these things are. Where they like molten, it's not molten, but like, you know, charred rocks with you know, magma inside, or I'll just say lava, but whatever. Anyways, I do agree with a lot of the people who complain about this game being too easy. And even though the atmosphere of how, and even though the whole atmosphere of Middle-earth and being able to explore it in a game is good enough to make up for it not really having much of any challenge to it, I still do think this is too easy, and this game would be a lot better if it had a bit more challenge to it. However, one thing they don't notice, and this isn't really like a difficulty of like, oh your heart is racing, you're spamming the control buttons, and you're constantly dying kind of difficulty, but this game is probably, at least at the time in 2012, which even then now it still is pretty hard. It's difficult whenever you look at it from the fact that this is probably one of the hardest LEGO games to 100% complete. Like, I am not kidding. This was the first one to have a really big and expansive open world. Which there were like open worlds in the LEGO games, but like this one might just be like one of the biggest. Like, what would even compete with it? In fact, I'll even think there'd be a couple LEGO games now well, really only like two that could be able to compete with how expansive the world is in this game. But even then, like with them competing for that, it's not like none of them actually beat this game in terms of how big the world is. No, they're pretty much equal to it. To how big in size the open world is, and this is like, it is so hard to get every single achievement, to the point where I'm pretty confident in saying that throughout my entirety of my life, assuming that I'll live for like 90 years or something, I'm assuming that throughout my entire life, will never actually complete this game 100%. I am confident, somewhat confident about that. I don't know. Maybe I might devote myself enough to it, but also there is the fact that I'm not as into LEGO games as I used to be, and I think I will like kind of not be as interested in LEGO games, and that will just keep growing and growing and being the same for years on end. Well, I guess I didn't explain it very well. However, I just think that like this kind of, like, you know, I'm not super crazy about LEGO games. Isn't just a phase. It will probably last my whole life and often get worse. Yeah, now I broke this dude's staff. See ya. I should probably have more topics for this video. Actually, I'll bring up one thing that I was going to talk about in my previous video, which was the one on Batman Arkham Asylum, which I hinted at. Of how I was going to play a very important game after that. After I finish with that Let's Play, which, by the way, I am recording both the Batman Arkham and this game Let's Play in the same session, in the same gaming session.
It was in this moment that Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
But yeah, I'm staying quiet for these because they have dialogue and they're also really good and really epic and a great recreation of what's in the movie.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated.
And this was a short level, unless this wasn't the whole level.
Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever.
Oh yeah, I like the whole thing of the ring shrinking to fit whoever's gonna wear it. That's a nice touch in the movie and in both this thing, and maybe it's a part of the Lord of the Rings books. I don't know. Also, keep in mind throughout this entire video and throughout basically any other Lord of the Rings Let's Play Lego Lord of the Rings Let's Play they do, or even any Let's Play of a Lord of the Rings game, because I do have three other Let's Plays of three other games that I want to play eventually, but I'm thinking about starting them in the Decembers of the years following this year. It was a unnecessarily complex sentence. What I'm going to play a new game that takes place in Middle-earth. Well, actually, really, two of them are Lord of the Rings games, but I just said they take place in Middle-earth because, you know, another one of them is Lego The Hobbit. I don't know why I looked back at my game collection. I just wasn't remembering the name of the game. But yeah, I just bought that game earlier this December, and it's pretty. I don't know, I like it. It came out in April, and I don't know. I decided to play it on the kind of on the way to like eventually, I guess, seeing The Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies. Which I'll talk about all this stuff later. Now, the reason why I'm lingering around this area and kind of wasting a bit of time, your valuable, precious time, is because I don't know. I'm kind of interested, allured by this like kind of concrete pack. Basically, I remember first seeing these in the Lego Movie video game, which I picked up May of this year. But I had no idea that they were in this game, which, by the way, I had this game longer than the Lego Movie game, but yet somehow I never noticed that these were here. Like, I thought those kinds of pads originated in the Lego Movie video game. Anyways, I'm going to... I don't know what character you need to have in order to be able to break those things. Yeah. Anyways, now I'm kind of talking about both a topic that's kind of carried over from my last video and like, you know, also a part of a topic they said I would talk about later, kinda, but I'll touch upon it here, is that in my Batman Arkham Asylum Let's Play, oh yeah, I need the other dude. Even though you have a broken sword, you're still a good fighter or whatever, I don't know. At the moment, I'm not very good at coming up with cinematic dialogue, I don't know. Maybe check back on me in a week. maybe I'll practice doing that for these videos. Seriously, I do not remember ever encountering those kinds of pads in this game, and yet somehow they're here. And I guess, like, what, can this guy throw a sword? Okay, no. Yeah, just because you're an elf doesn't mean you're, doesn't always mean you're good at archery. Or just throwing a sword, yeah. Yeah, and I guess I'm not playing as this guy, because, you know, he has a broken sword, so I don't know what, maybe I'm a bad person because I'm prejudiced against people with broken swords. God. Actually, no, a broken sword could be a metaphor for a certain thing, but I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna leave that up to your own imagination. Okay, yeah, anyways, I love to destroy these Sauron things. Actually, I don't remember, strangely, even though I last played this game, like, not a really super long time ago, I really just don't remember that much about whenever I first played this game. I guess you just single jump. Okay, how does that not flow down? How does that not flow down in the lava flow into, like, you know, wherever they're going back there? Also, I like how there's like an entire sub part of a level based off of, you know, this quick scene where they throw cast the ring into the fire or whatever. I don't know. You know, I'm wondering. I would probably want to keep track of this for like most of my Let's Plays, but especially like I guess ones for games that are more Lego games that are I guess more graphically close or whatever. But like, oh frick, I need to. My controller batteries can only last for so long. At least I have At least I had a backup to easily get out of this awkward situation, which would definitely make the Let's Play a whole lot worse. By, you know, plugging in my controller to the console. Even though I really do prefer, like, actually having, you know, actual working batteries into the controller. Like, I don't like actually going into going and making, like, plugging it in. So that's not good. It feels so weird that I'm playing this game, but also it doesn't. I don't know, I think this was what my entire channel was building up to. Yeah, after a year, I finally am playing Lego Lord of the Rings. But anyways, as I was talking about before, man, I'm gonna have so many different topics that they're constantly competing for space in my brain and mouth. But like, I want to talk about how I want to keep track with these games. I want to do this for Lego Harry Potter and Lego Lord of the Rings. Not so much for, like, I don't know, any of the other Lego games right now, or even like or even like Lego, or no, not Lego game, or even Spider-Man 2, because I wouldn't want to keep track of where I am in the movie compared to how I'm playing the game, because the Spider-Man 2 game divinates or whatever from the plot of Spider-Man 2 so much. Cast it into the fire! I swear I had a voice crack at the beginning of this. Okay, I'll shut up.
But the hearts
Oh
of
wow,
men
that's good. You can see
are
like the
easily
reflection of the
corrupted, and the ring of
studs
power
on his face.
has a will of its own.
It can corrupt any man, but not a woman. They're too pure of heart. Yeah, not a woman. Good.
It betrayed Isildur to his death. And
I like how
something
he's invisible
that
whenever
should
he
not have
dies.
been
This
forgotten
doesn't happen in
or
like the
lost.
movie. Yeah.
For 2,500 years, the ring passed out of all knowledge. Until
Oh yeah, and I like how this is foreshadowing stuff that would happen in The
the
Hobbit.
ring came to the creature Gollum, who took it deep into the tunnel of the mysterious. For 500 years, it poisoned his mind. But something happened then the ring did not intend. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable.
What's this?
A hobbit, Bilbo Baggins of the Shire.
A ring.
Just to represent in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Well, I don't remember bags of white stuff. You know, it could be
All the arrangements are made.
flour, or it could be sniffy dust, or it could be sugar. You never know.
2 eyes, as often as I can spare them.
I'm leaving everything to him.
What about this ring of yours? Is that staying too?
You're right, Gandalf. The ring must go to Frodo.
Bilbo. The ring is still in your pocket.
Yes. Goodbye, Gandalf.
Goodbye, dear Bilbo.
The road goes ever.
Till our next meeting.
To be honest.
What must I do?
Make for the village of Bree. I'll be waiting for you at the Inn of the Prancing Pony. I must see the head of my order. You'll know what to do. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Oh, by the way, just want to mention, I have the movie Merlin, apparently. Most magical adventure of all time. What are you talking about? We have Harry Potter. Oh, wait, no. This movie was made in the... I was going to say the 80s, but no, the 90s. And also, I don't know, I would say that, Lord of the Rings is a more magical adventure, but I don't know. I don't think Lord of the Rings... Oh, something that you realize is that Lord of the Rings isn't a whole lot about magic. It isn't like... That isn't a big part of it. It doesn't... You know, have magic or whatever. Magically magic. Disney magic. Yeah, it's going to be so nice. You know, kind of exploring around the area of the Shire. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the rest of this video is just going to be like me exploring around here and, you know, doing you know, random stuff like destroying things. But I think I'll have good enough commentary to make it entertaining, because like I said in my Batman Arkham video that I just did, I like to be very thorough whenever I play my video games. Collect every collectible and try to scan the area for everything that I can possibly salvage. Everything that I can break or whatever, besides the fact that I don't feel like I have to break the TVs in Batman Arkham, in the Batman Arkham games. Or mostly Batman Arkham Asylum. I don't think there's breakable TVs in any of the other Batman Arkham games. But yeah, I like to be very thorough, which that is something that will benefit you whenever you're playing a Lego game, or whenever you're playing stuff like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, or basically really any of the THQ SpongeBob games. Because I like whenever games reward you for paying attention and exploring through your land and being thorough with everything that you do. That's often why it takes me really long to play certain parts of games, like much longer than most people, is because I want to explore every nook and cranny, and also sometimes I'm just bad at getting through certain challenges. Yeah, I have this strange thing that often happens, especially for some reason it's happened more recently with Lego games. Like the first time I played them, I play a certain part of them, I'm kind of total garbage. With the exception of, like, I guess free play stuff or whatever. Even whenever you're not retreading over levels that you've already played before. I'm just, like, usually very trash at my first time that I play a certain level of a game and have to, like, look up guides and stuff that should probably be obvious. But then, after I've played a game, like, once and I've kind of know kind of where everything is, then I don't have to, like, look up stuff, and I can just, you know, get through the game better and quicker and actually have more fun with it. Because that's the thing, whenever I'm stuck and don't know what to do, you're not having fun with the game. That's why video game guides are pretty important, and they're pretty nice. Actually, that brings me to, I used to call my, I should stop saying that brings me to for every time I change a topic, but anyways, I was gonna say that brings me to, but I actually used to label my video game Let's Plays as walkthroughs. I don't know. I like the word walkthroughs, but I realized that my videos are not walkthroughs, so quickly I just removed it. Instead of, like, putting any kind of word like Let's Play or walkthrough in front of a video, I just decided to call them the name of the game. Sometimes I don't even include the whole name, just to, like, kind of take out arbitrary subtitles, like, For example, actually, my two examples would be two Lego games that were released in 2008, but, like, take out the unnecessary subtitles. In my title, I just call Lego Indiana Jones The Original Adventures Lego Indiana Jones. Because, you know, if I wanted to differentiate that from the second game, then I would have the 2 in there, you know, Lego Indiana Jones 2. So you really don't need the original adventures subtitle, just to be able to tell, you know, what game I'm playing specifically. Even though I do put the whole entire name of the game in the description, and I guess also in the description I have, like, you know, there's this thing. There's this feature where you can, like, if your video is labeled as gaming, you can put in whatever video game you're playing. You know, I wish they had that feature. Since copyright has gotten a bit looser, especially this year, on YouTube and you know, like, like movie reviews and whatever, and cartoon, basically copyright media reviews have gotten more popular on YouTube. I think that they need to introduce some kind of feature where, like, if you put your video under film and animation, then you can put whatever, like, movie or TV show or whatever that you're reviewing. in the description of the video. Just like what you can do with games. But I guess YouTube won't recognize it because gaming isn't nearly as big I mean, movie reviews and whatever aren't nearly as big of a kind of subculture in YouTube as like Let's Plays, mostly because of the fact that video games have a lot less copyright about them, except for Nintendo. Like they are often pretty vicious with their certain business practices, and also Sega. It's just like it's like a lot of the older video game companies just don't seem to know a lot about copyright and fair use, and what is fair and what is not. By the way, I'm glad that we finally have a map, which, you know, is access the typical video game way of pressing the back button. Yeah, then I guess you need somebody. Oh wait, Samwise Gamgee can, you know, do this fire thing. Basically, he gets a fire book, and then he gets a smelter, and then boom, fire. By the way, I guess I should finally bring up what I was going to talk about with how I'll probably rephrase this in like about another Batman Arkham video, but I just want to really quickly say it. Is that I'm going to now call the Batman explosive gel Ready Whip, or is that what I would call it? Ready Whip? I guess I forget what would be the necessary brand of whipped cream, whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna call the explosive gel. Anyways, it's not really important. That important. I don't know why I even brought it up. Okay, so I just needed to get that off of my chest. So back to YouTube and how they still are bad at copyright and whatever, and fair, and a lot of copyright holders barely even know what fair use is. YouTube Rewind recently just came out. Yeah, the new installment of YouTube Rewind, and it was pretty good. Not gonna lie, of course, I'm talking about Rewind 2014, and yeah, you know what? I liked it. Admittedly, it wasn't as good as last year's YouTube Rewind, and I don't know if it's better than Rewind 2012, but I don't know. It was good. I like the whole thing. I liked what it had going for it. Again, like these things are just puzzling me. I thought those were introduced in the Lego Movie game, but apparently not. Yeah. I liked in this Rewind. They did admittedly. There admittedly was one problem of they had a bit too much of a slant on like what happened in the music industry for this Rewind, and less so like viral YouTube videos. Probably because viral YouTube videos are kind of slowly dying. Which is a bit sad. And now like kind of more corporate companies are taking place. Actually, you know what? This probably is worse than YouTube Rewind 2012 because they had a freaking talk show host. Like, seriously. Also, one thing that I have to question is that so like Big Bird and I believe Cookie Monster. No, that was like the last year's Rewind. Hold on. Like, my question is why is what event, I don't know what event happened this year and even last year to be able to get various Sesame Street characters into YouTube Rewind. I don't know. Maybe some more people are more knowledgeable of this, but I'm just scratching my head wondering what event happened these past 2 years that ended up having the Cookie Monster and Big Bird end up in YouTube Rewind. Just how? What in YouTube Rewind? What was big enough to have them? Anyways. So I don't know. Again, comment down below. What happened these past 2 years, or I guess I should specify 2013 and 2014 in case you're watching this in the future, that had to do with Sesame Street, that was on YouTube, that was so big that they had to be featured in Rewind. Just why? That's what I'm wondering. I'm not even really complaining about them. Their appearances are brief, and you know what? I think they're decent. I don't know. I liked a lot of the use of the songs. However, they had to use that one stupid song by freaking stupid Megan Training Wheels up and coming artist My Freaking Bass. Like it's just, yeah, I don't get it. Also, I believe this is the first time I've talked about YouTube Rewind. I don't know. I was more into YouTube Rewind last year. I think this year I've kind of mellowed out a bit from the drug high. Oh yeah, YouTube Rewind. I'm so obsessed kind of state that it was last year. Also, I swear I'm never gonna get through this level. Actually, you know what? I should probably stop moping around here and actually move on with this. If you want this to be more entertaining. So I guess where am I supposed to go? Bag End. Okay, Farmer Maggot's Field. I think that's the next level. Oh. Is like this whole Black Rider thing. So you know, yeah. Let's set this as destination. Yes, you need to close the map the same way that you opened it. You can't just press the back button like I think I've been doing to close the map the whole time. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering it incorrectly. I swear it's getting darker in Hobbiton. Also, I guess there's a trail of ghost studs. They're going to lead me where I want to go as my set destination. But yeah, even if I do like moping around this area and like, you know, destroying everything in sight, more than I do like just saving random citizens in Spider-Man 2, which most people would disagree with. But seriously, I was desperate for some kind of story that I could find out in that video, in that game. Oh wait, I guess that's the way the ghost studs. Wait, why was it pointing me? There's some arrow in the corner of the screen that was pointing me like over, saying I need to go over here. But well, whatever. I'll just ignore it. So anyways, we're going through the field of Farmer Maggot's crops. Also, there's a certain part I'm going to reenact a certain scene when I think it's necessary, when I think we've gotten to the part. What crap? I don't even think this is a part. This is the part, but you know what? Let's just reenact it. Hey, Frodo! Frodo! Why are you all the way back here? Frodo! Fettuccine Alfredo! Oh god, I hate whenever he calls me that. By the way, that's not like a line from the movie, of course. It's probably too cheesy to make it into Lord of the Rings. Man, I didn't even talk about what I thought of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay, I might as well, since this is probably going to be the last 10 minutes of this very long video, I might as well talk about what I think of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay, so the Lord of the Rings trilogy is great. It is probably my favorite movie trilogy of all time. There doesn't seem to be a lot of really good movie trilogies. Like there's the Star Wars trilogy, there's the Toy Story trilogy. The first two Godfather movies are pretty good, but then of course Godfather 3 had to ruin it. Oh, I just thought, what if I tried to make Godfather 3 just be a punchline to a bunch of jokes in my Let's Plays? Anyways, let's reenact. Well, destroy Farmer Maggot's crops, or Farmer Maggot's corn specifically, and then we'll reenact one of the moments that I really like from the trilogy. Okay. Ah, God, it didn't let me reenact it. Frick, I just walked slightly too far. But anyways, what I was going to do was that whole thing. I hate that I couldn't do that. Also, I really like this whole painting loading screen. Like, it practically makes me want to watch the whole loading screen, which is not something that I can say about a lot of loading screens, but that's a good loading screen. Now, I like this loading screen. Anyways, I'm going to be quiet for this cutscene because it's not a loading screen, it's a cutscene. And I'm going to stop saying loading screen way too much. Loading screen. Loading screen. So I don't even think there's been any dialogue in this scene. Just told a completely visual, like a lot of the older Lego game cutscenes.
Ooh, that was close. I think I've broken something.
Mushrooms! That's supposed to be a mushroom, not, I don't know, whatever it's supposed to be in this game. Yeah.
Get off the road! Quick!
I like how what are they called, like the... Man, I'm looking at my copy of Merlin. Said I was gonna be quiet for this, but I'm not. And now we're in gameplay. But yeah, I like how I realized, man, I forgot what this mob even was called, but oh, so this is a stealth mission. Yeah, so apparently, yeah, in order to be stealth, we have to be very low-key. We have to crouch. But yet you can just, you know, loudly destroy plants. And you know, these picking up coins have a pretty loud sound. Little girls are picking up sticks, boys to men still keeping up the rhythm, yeah, the freedom of 76. I probably shouldn't sing Ween songs because, you know, it's December. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Whoa, yeah. Do you remember living the 21st night of September? Oh crap, I was singing a song about September whenever I meant to try to sing a song about December. Are there even any songs specifically about December that aren't just like, I don't know, Christmas songs? Christmas songs, I would want to talk about that more in some other day. Especially, that would be a really good topic for... Wait, I forgot. Samwise Gamgee, right? He can dig these things up, and this dude can. By the way, I do not know which one of these two red-haired fricks is Mary and which one is Pimpin. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh no, I shouldn't make the same mistake that I did before. Or actually, I don't know how you're supposed to get past it. Is it just you do this but with literally any other dude? Wait, so now Sam can, you know, shovel this stuff up. Whatever this is supposed to be. I hope it's not like human excrement or something. really like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It is just one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. Oh, and we got a mini kit, and they're the exact same design of mini kit as Lego Indiana Jones, I believe. Yeah, I was going to say Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, but no, they have a different design for mini kits. They're the ships in the bottles. And I like it. I like it that you can access those hatch things. Basically, you know what was the scene that I was trying to recreate earlier? That I was trying to go in Farmer Maggot's crops, but I just couldn't? Was the scene where, like, where Sam and Frodo and Sam were like, Frodo's like, come on, let me get to Frodo! Frodo's walking like this, and then Sam just stops, and then he's like, this is it. This is what? This is the farthest I've ever stepped away from home. Well, for Frodo, you can. I forget what kind of pep talk Frodo gives Sam to, motivate him to go on the journey. Yeah, I just remember the whole thing of, this is it. This is what, and this is what. This is it. This is the farthest I've ever walked away from home. And I guess you can't go anywhere beyond that, but what'd that do? That would be helpful to, I don't know. That didn't even give me any kind of mini kit or whatever. Oh yeah, I guess you need bombs to blow up whatever is here, or some kind of. I guess since this is Lego Lord of the Rings, it would have to be some kind of magical weapons, magical bombs. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie trilogy of all time. And I will not let anyone say anything to the contrary. I love the adventure, I love the story, and best of all, they're just like, even if you look past how much you like the mythology and you like the story, they're just kind of like good in terms of the whole thing of well-directed movies, which is not something that I can always say about a lot of like some of the other franchises that I like the Harry Potter movies, where like I like them for the mythology and the stuff, and also the fact that they're connected to the Harry Potter book series, which I do like more than the actual movies, and also the fact that they tell a decent story. But in terms of movies on their own, from a filmmaking standpoint, with the exception of the third one, which is actually really good in filmmaking kind of method, the one by Alfonso Cuarón that's really artsy. Yeah, that is okay, I'm gonna end this after this cutscene. But those are just like, besides that one, they're just okay as film in terms of filmmaking. But in terms of like filmmaking in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, man, these are amazing films. Just on their own, if you ignore just how engrossing and how great the story is, and the amazing source material that's based upon. Yeah, I should stay quiet for this.
They will find the ring and kill the one who carries it. Frodo.
I just don't want to, because this is about to be the end.
Saruman the Wise abandoned reason for madness.
Yeah, spam X, spam X, spam X. Oh, and I like this whole dynamic of you can switch between characters. But anyways, this probably isn't a good place to end it, but I'm just going to end it here. I mean, it was actually, no, I can't look at the map, so I guess we'll just have to do this crappy pause screen. Well, and can I get a better pause frame? Yeah, look at him, me be airborne. Let's take a picture of this and then, I don't know, share it on some tinfoil hat website that sells tinfoil hats and doesn't actually have anything to do with conspiracy theories. And act like this actually happened in real life. But yeah, wow, I thought it would get to more topics, but I've barely even gone through what I think of the Lord of the Rings films, which I could basically write a whole entire book of about my thoughts of the Lord of the Rings films. I haven't even talked about the DVD box that I just got in front of me randomly, Merlin, which I'm thinking about watching in the middle of my Lord of the Rings marathon, which I have to mention that I'm going to do in December. I always have these things that I'm going to do every year if I have kind of a Batman/horror movie marathon where the Batman side starts in like mid-September and ends in like October, but I'm okay with it extending to early November. And then the horror movie thing just starts and ends in October. And then, like, I have a bit of a Harry Potter marathon in November, which I'm okay if that carries into December. And then in December, most importantly, mid-December, I usually do... Well, let's turn the game on or whatever. I usually do, like, kind of a Lord of the Rings marathon. So, yeah, that's the thing. I haven't started watching the Lord of the Rings movies, but I'm thinking about maybe tomorrow night I'll like, watch the first Lord of the Rings movie, whatever. So... Anyways, we should end this. I'll cap this off right now, even though this is not a good time so much. So, this is my longest video, and good night, tri-state area.